we'll practice today and then we'll leave for LSU. We're coming off yesterday. We turned it into a great practice yesterday in the sense of not our typical day after a game practice, but one where we really got up and down the floor, tried to get our speed and movement game going, because that's exactly what hurt us the most on offense against Florida. We weren't as nearly as good defensively as we had to be, but we didn't cut and move, whether it was man, whether it was zone, whatever it was that night, and we needed to get our speed game going again. So we'll go shorter today, get ready to go to LSU, and I think we're excited to play. And we know that they're at senior day there. They're playing. They've had a high-level year. They've had their ups and downs like everybody else outside of Kentucky in this league has had, but they are fully capable. They put numerous scores on the floor. And the rebounding is, they're in the top 10 in the country in offensive rebounding, but their ability to send three guys to the glass consistently is really on par with anybody. So we've got to do a great job of rebounding with this team. And the biggest thing is we can't go in there and turn the ball over. Last year we held our own in the rebounding game, even though we didn't win either game, but we got outscored 34-13 in points off turnovers. And that's always going to be a recipe for disaster. And I know last year is different than this year, but we can't go in there and duplicate that. And we've had some moments this year where we've had those numbers be like that over periods of games, and we can't do that. So we've got to go in there, especially on the road. We want to play fast. We want to play with movement, but we don't want to play reckless. We don't want to be trying to give them live ball turnovers, which allows their athleticism to take over and the crowd to take over. But we're excited to play. I'm excited to go coach this team in there, and let's go see what happens.
You talked after the game the other night that immaturity has been one of the hallmarks of the team all year. As
Hallmark.
a coach,
It's a good question. It's a good line. Hallmark.
that's why I'm a writer. As a coach, is there anything you can do to counteract that other than just putting them and getting them experience? Is there anything you can do in practice?
No, you know what? That's a great question because it's awareness so many times, right? It's awareness, it's focus, it's concentration. So it's not as much about what you're doing, it's how well you're doing, how long you can do it. And it doesn't matter if it's a short possession, a long possession, you've got to have that level of awareness, you've got to be able to have that stick-to-itiveness. And so much of it is just experience. It's just experience of going through it. But the inconsistencies at times with the turnovers, the inconsistency with the connectivity on defense, or really the inconsistency of moving and cutting without the ball, no matter what the defense is in, is what we've got to continue to outgrow. That's the part of it that is hard, and because our team has really good success when we're playing a different way, when we're playing with that cutting and movement, when we're getting on the offensive glass, when we're really connected defensively and not over helping or going for a steal that's not there or missing a block out. When we're making the simple next pass, whether it's off a cut or a pass or driving kick situation. So that's the part of it, and you just have to keep going through it.
What does this LSU team do particularly well? I think they started the season 8-0 in league play.
Well, they're talented. They're extremely talented, and they keep putting athletes on the floor that are skilled. And so I think the biggest thing to me is the rebounding. It always is with them. I mean, they do a great job of making sure that they've got a minimum of 3 guys on the offensive glass every time. They're selective with their running. They're good with their running. And really what's happening is everybody on the floor, including Emmett Williams, even though he hasn't shot many, the majority of those guys can all shoot the ball, so you have to guard them on the perimeter. I mean, Darius Days is making threes, and certainly you've got to deal with Skylar Mays. Trenton Watford has gone in and done a great job of being a ball mover, a scorer, like a point forward type of player, rebounding the ball extremely well. Javonte Smart has played in for a team that doesn't have numerous point guards. With Javonte Smart and with Skylar Mays, they do a really good job of using the ball screen and creating for themselves and for others. And I would say another thing they do really, really well is their transition offense, especially their drag, quick ball screens that they get. And they don't do a ton of things offensively, but they keep good spacing and they've got such good skill. And when the shot goes up, they're incredibly aggressive. And I think the fact that Emmett Williams continues to get better week after week has got a lot to do with why they're so good too.
And this program continues to take steps. How big a deal is finishing over 500 this year?
Oh, it's big. It'd be big. It really would. I mean, you're going after every win, obviously, but that'd be big. I mean, it really would. So I put more focus on the fact we need to go beat LSU, right, than what the record would be. But in the whole scheme of things, to get back on the winning track, especially with the fact that we didn't play the other night like we played the last couple of weeks, even in the South Carolina loss, would be good for us, and just continue to build forward. Nothing else?
Other questions?
All righty. All right. See you later. Thanks.